Everyone laughed when she walked into the millionaire's wedding, wearing a simple, outdated dress. A woman they thought didn't belong. The bride's friends whispered, the guests smirked, and someone even joked that she must have gotten lost. But when the truth came out, when the nobody they mocked turned out to be a billionaire in disguise, richer than everyone in the room combined. The laughter stopped. What she revealed that night didn't just silence the room, it changed the groom's life forever. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tales and Turns, where we bring you stories that twist, inspire, and move your heart. If you love emotional, powerful tales that remind you never to judge someone by appearances, then don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And tell us down below, where in the world are you watching from? We love seeing our viewers from all over the globe. Now, let's dive into today's story, one that proves true worth never needs to be shown, only felt. The grand ballroom of the Rosemont estate gleamed with crystal chandeliers and gold-trimmed walls. Guests arrived in glittering gowns and designer suits, each one trying to outshine the other. It was the wedding of Daniel Whitmore, a wealthy entrepreneur, and his stunning fiancée, Clara, a rising fashion influencer. Every camera flash caught perfection, until the doors opened quietly and a modest woman stepped in. Her name was Grace Miller. No one recognized her, and for that, they dismissed her instantly. Her dress was simple, handmade even. Her shoes weren't designer. Her hair wasn't styled by professionals, and her jewelry was barely noticeable. She carried herself with quiet grace, smiling politely as she took a seat near the back. But soon, whispers started circling. Who invited her? She looked so out of place. Maybe she's the help. Grace pretended not to hear. She had come for one reason only, and it wasn't to impress anyone. As the ceremony began, she watched Daniel closely. He looked nervous, proud, and oddly conflicted. Grace's eyes softened. She remembered him well. Years ago, Daniel had been just a young intern at her company, a man with big dreams but empty pockets. He didn't know it back then, but the assistant he often confided in was actually the founder and CEO of the entire corporation. She had disguised her role to see how employees treated those they thought were beneath them. Daniel had been kind, hardworking, and honest, and when she secretly funded his first startup, she never revealed it was her. Now, sitting at his wedding, she wondered if he'd changed. But before she could reflect more, a group of guests at the next table began mocking her. One woman snickered, "I bet she came to get free food." Another added, "Maybe she's hoping to network her way into a job." Grace simply smiled, refusing to let their words pierce her. The truth was far beyond their understanding, because every flower, every decoration, every chandelier in that ballroom had been paid for with her money. When the reception began, Clara, the bride, approached Grace with an exaggerated smile. "I'm sorry, I don't think we've met. Are you someone's plus one?" she asked sweetly, but the venom behind her words was unmistakable. Grace replied softly, "You could say that. I'm here because of Daniel." The bride's smile faltered, jealousy flickering in her eyes. "An ex, maybe." She teased loudly enough for nearby guests to hear. Laughter rippled around them, but Grace only chuckled gently. "No," she said, "just someone who believed in him when no one else did." Daniel, overhearing the exchange, froze. He turned and truly saw her for the first time. Recognition flooded his face. "Ms. Miller," he whispered. The crowd went silent. You're here?" Grace nodded with that same calm kindness he remembered. "I wouldn't miss it," she said. The whispers spread like wildfire. People Googling her name, realizing too late who she was. The same woman they'd mocked now appeared on every major business profile. Grace Miller, billionaire philanthropist, founder of Horizon Enterprises. The room changed instantly. The laughter vanished. Clara's face went pale. Grace stood, her voice calm but strong. It's funny how quickly people decide who matters based on what they see, she said softly. But real worth isn't measured by brands or diamonds. It's measured by integrity. She looked at Daniel and smiled. I'm proud of the man you once were. I just hope success hasn't made you forget him. Daniel's throat tightened. In that moment, he realized how far he drifted. Not just from humility, but from his own values. The wedding that was meant to be his proudest moment suddenly felt hollow. He excused himself from the crowd, pulling Grace aside. You changed my life, he said quietly. I never knew it was you who helped me. Grace smiled warmly. You didn't need to know. You just needed to believe. By the end of the night, Grace slipped out as quietly as she came. But her words stayed. The next morning, Daniel canceled his lavish honeymoon and redirected part of his fortune toward building scholarships for young entrepreneurs. A foundation he named the Grace Project. Months later, when the world learned what he'd done, they called him a visionary. But Daniel knew the truth. He had simply remembered who he was, thanks to the woman everyone else had mocked. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Tales and Turns. Tell us in the comments, have you ever been underestimated or misjudged? And remember, sometimes the simplest souls carry the richest hearts, and the quietest presence changes the loudest rooms.